guys, welcome to You're Not My Type Bro, a show that we talk about everything from entertainment, politics, current events, and so much more. We're always so glad to have you guys here. We have a great show in store for you, so I'm just going to jump right in. But before I do that, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and subscribe. Also, comment in the comment section. We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
With that, we'll just jump right in. No further ado. Cocktails and complaints, my favorite segment.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Cheers.
Cocktails and complaints.
All right. Marco.
Am I going first?
Mm-hmm.
This thing makes me mad. It's been making me mad for 2 months. On my Mini, and like every other car that you buy in California now, you have the auto stop. The engine stops by itself. Every time you come to like a stop sign, the engine will cut out to save points, thousandths of a gallon, right, to protect, right? Which then, of course, we all offset by burning a Tesla, right? But what sucks is, that's even what bothers me. What bothers me is it's the default setting on the car. Mm-hmm. So it's not that I can go and choose if I want this option or not. It's on by default. So if I start driving and I forget to turn it off, then I actually have to go turn it off. So it doesn't even give me the choice to have it as a default setting for it not to be on. Mm-hmm. And it's also been a safety issue for me too, because sometimes, as you know, in LA, there's a lot of traffic. When you have momentum and you come somewhere, right? Let's say like at an intersection, you're kind of looking and you want to keep it rolling.
Right.
But right as I'm stopping and I hit the gas, the engine cuts out. Mm-hmm. And I see that a lot with other cars too. So you kind of, and now you get distracted and shit. And it cuts it, and just to restart it, I find the feature fucking useless. I hate it. I hate that it's decided for me that it's on by default, and that I don't have the freedom of choice. And I want whoever designed it to lose their life.
Wait.
Damn.
Did you not test drive the car before you decided to purchase it and sell it? That's how.
I know, but we can't talk about that because that would make it look like it's my fault. And I should
your fault. Did you check the owner's manual and make sure that you can't switch to default?
And you know, when you test drive,
Did you check the owner's manual and make sure you couldn't
real
check?
men don't read owner's manuals.
Well, then maybe you should.
I feel like it's as buyer's. Well, obviously it is buyer's remorse.
Totally.
But you had the opportunity to test out the features of the vehicle, and obiously it was fine with you.
We love the car. It's a Mini. It's such
a Mini
car. It's
yeah,
awesome.
but I can't imagine you. I cannot imagine you sitting and driving a Mini.
I know, that's so gay.
I can't do it.
and where? Shut up.
That took 30 seconds. I'm looking at him. Are you going to? Anyway, I want to know if you hate that feature. And again, not only do I hate the feature, which I think is useless, it doesn't make a change, but I hate the fact that it's on by default. So all the new cars, my understanding is, because that's the one thing I did Google rather than look in the manual, is that it's on by default. So you actually have to turn on the car and then go turn it off. And it is just a switch, I agree, but I can't be bothered.
How is this hampering your everyday activity, though?
No. It's not everyday activity, but I tell you, it really does suck because I'm an aggressive driver, but I'm a good driver. I learned in Europe to drive right, stick to everything. I've driven all over the world. And the thing is, sometimes you need that momentum. Yeah. And the feature doesn't bother me. It's actually a great feature in traffic. But it always cuts you off when you need the juice. Mm. So a lot of times you'll be like, okay, I'm going. And fuck, dude. Yeah,
it's unreliable.
And guess what? Now I'm looking down. And it distracts me, from the task at hand, which is driving. And I'm already a distracted driver like everybody else in LA. So it's just, I want to know if you hate that feature as much as I do, because I detest it. Detest is the same as hate, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Is one stronger than the other?
I don't think so. No.
I'm a foreigner, just asking.
I think they're about
the same.
Anonymous.
I think they're the same.
Good. Which one makes me sound smarter?
Detest.
I detest it. So cut everything out in the last 30 seconds.
What I was trying to say was my electric car, has this feature. I think it's called auto hold, and basically what it does is like when you're coming up on another vehicle, it will like brake the car for you. Yeah. And it has like varying levels of it. Peyton puts it up at the highest level because I don't know why he's crazy. But anytime I have it on, I like turn it off because it makes me feel like I'm not in control of the car. And it also has this feature where like, let's say if you're driving down Sunset and there's that big curve, like it will curve it for you. Like it will do that for you. And it's like,
I hate that. Yeah, but it takes
Let
the
me drive my car.
for you. Yeah, no.
Let me drive my car.
Or what is it? I think it's wheel assist. My old
Yeah.
Camry used to have it, and I don't like inertia. And the Camry, I think, because it was such a long car, I could feel inertia. But when in LA we have such windy roads, you're driving up the 101, and you hit this curve, and then the car shifts itself. I'm like, it scares the shit out of me. I hated that. My Audi doesn't have it, but I'm glad that no longer exists for me.
Well,
all right, Theo, what angered you this week?
what angered me this week? It's something that angers me every other. Every other week. Every week. I'm sorry.
Every week. Disgusting, not anger.
That sounds awesome.
That's crit. Oh,
Stop it.
You're like triggering my.
By the way, all the fan mail we got for my simulated
Misophonia.
female orgasm last week?
Oh, it was a tough thing.
That was amazing. Yeah, we'll get to that. But anyway,
We'll talk about it later.
Was that an orgasm?
a women's
It was like
fake
Predator
orgasm.
3 coming through.
Predator 3.
I mean, can we focus on me for 5 seconds and about my complaint? Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, it's what's been bothering me like every week, and that's I've been in career transition. I'm right now in the process, and have been in for several months, of trying to move in a different direction. And what has been frustrating me so much recently is that, like, every other application that I fill out, they want you to do an assessment.
So annoying.
And some of them are like, I know it's like some of them are like 15 minutes, some of them take 25,
45.
Anywhere from
25
like
to an hour when I used to
minutes.
do it. Like,
There was one today I was like, no.
Yeah. The frustrating thing about it is, like, I'll take the time. I was like, okay, well, I like this job. I like what they're offering. I'm just going to do it. And I'll like complete it and spend 30 minutes doing that when I could be doing, several other applications.
Yeah.
Total waste
And
of
then
time.
literally the next day I'll get a oh, thank you for applying. And this is like, can you imagine if you had to do this every single time you had to fill out a job application, how much more of a job finding a job would be? Because finding a job is a job.
They're not even reading it.
It's
You know
also
that.
not productive.
Yeah.
Like you guys are showing me that you're not a productive company, and it's not indicative of whether I can do the job or not, especially if some of those questions have nothing to do with the job.
They're not
roles
even
or
reading that
responsibilities.
shit,
Like,
yeah.
what are you talking about? But some people don't even test well. Like, this is stupid.
But that's the thing. It probably just spits out a number, and then they're like, "Oh, I like this number," or "No, I don't like this number,"
Yeah.
and they just throw everybody else on the pile.
It's
that
a
doesn't
complete
get the number.
joke. Yeah.
So it's just a frustration of mine, and it's just something I felt like I had to voice my opinion on. So all of the companies that are out there, how about, like, at least let people get past, like, a first round or a second round or something, and then have them do a 45-minute assessment or something like that. I guess.
As a people manager,
want
you
to.
don't need that. You get someone in the room and interview them,
you
ask
stole-
them the right questions, and I'll know if you're a good candidate or not.
Stole the words right out of my mouth. You know why? Remember when we used to go to restaurants to apply for jobs? You obviously had to do it in person, no other way.
Yeah.
And guess what? While you're filling out, they already see if they like you or not.
Yeah.
So you will get you will never get a call, or the next day already. Okay, come in for an interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This whole thing, nobody's even reading that shit. It's a
No,
complete
they're
joke,
not.
man. It's a complete joke. Yeah.
All right, my complaint for the week. So either last week or the week before, Senator Cory Booker, I think he's senator of New Jersey, filibustered for over 25 hours, beating the previous record holder, which is Senator Strom Thurmond from my home state, hailing from my home state of South Carolina. I thought it was phenomenal, even though it doesn't have that much of a significant political impact for me. Because coming from South Carolina, Senator Strom Thurmond was a virulent racist. Black people in the South, we all knew that he was a huge segregationist, but he had a black daughter that was secretive, and she didn't come out with her.
Oh, such a great American story.
Until he died, and this man was in office. I think he might have even died in office in his late 80s or 90s. So it was great to see Cory Booker beat that record. But as I was watching, the next day there was like a clip on Instagram, and it was an interview. I think it was an ABC interview. The interviewer asked, how did he prepare for that? Because I was thinking the same thing, like, how the fuck are you going to sit there? Yeah. I can barely make it through this episode before having
I already want to go home.
I'm already on this thing. I was like,
how did he stand up there for 25 hours? Yeah. Without, having to go relieve himself or any of the other natural No.
No catheter?
Not the
Oh,
natural
forget that. Without
malfunction.
pleasuring himself.
He, ew.
You can go 24 hours without doing it.
It's so great to have this weekly outlet, I tell you guys.
So he goes through it. Basically, he had like some medical assistance, and they prepped him for days before. He was kind of basically dehydrated and hadn't eat before getting there. Which this is serious preparation and kind of putting himself in medical jeopardy to do something that I thought was extraordinary. And even though it doesn't have like a significant political impact, it does in terms of like my side of the political aisle invigorate us and give us hope and gets momentum moving. There was a surge after that, a surge of like hope for fellow Democrats and blue oriented persons. When I looked at the comments section, the worst comments that I saw, when this really pissed me off, were like other black men. And then I would check their profiles, and I'm like, okay, well maybe they're MAGA because they're this new presidency or recent presidency for Donald Trump, there's been more of an increase of black males supporting him. It's like, well, maybe that's what it is, and that would make sense. And they're not. And I just like, it pissed me off because they had worse things to say than some of like the MAGA supporters.
The black guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no.
And I'm like, why are you?
For example.
Yeah.
Just like, what did he really do? Like, just talking shit. This is a while ago, so I don't have like the exact.
People talk shit about everybody, man.
I don't have the exact verbatims that they said, but to me, or at least maybe from my perception, they seemed to be nastier towards him than even some of the MAGA supporters. Now, granted, most of the comments were like very supportive because I think what he did is spectacular. Like, I couldn't do that, but to me, it was just like, why are you, not that you have to support someone if you're black and they're black, or if you're gay and they're gay, like right. That, you don't have to do that. But like, why are you tearing him down for what I saw was no reason? I could see if your political stance was oppositional to
everything
that.
On the internet, if you go to the comments, is nothing but hate.
Yes,
I have and by the way, you learn
to be other black guys against another black guy, it just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Pissed me off.
Very good complaint. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you said, anytime
crabs
you go
in a barrel. Sorry.
anytime you go into the comment section, I mean, if you want to laugh and see some of the nastiest comments you'll see in your life,
open a Yahoo article.
Go to the comment section of a Yahoo article.
Any article.
The comment section of Instagram. People, you are just behind their computers, just going at people, and it's like
keyboard warriors.
Why? Why?
I have a YouTube channel
because there's no consequence for it. They don't have to talk shit to their face.
I have a YouTube channel where I review some gear, and I play sometimes really good solos. Even when you do it perfect, they hate you. They just gotta talk shit. And what's funny, when you click on the picture, it's always some dude that looks like their parents were brother and sister.
Inbred from Deliverance. All right, guys. Well, that wraps us up for our cocktails and complaints segment for the week. Let's jump into our topics. The nerd in me really wants to hear about this. Theo, you want to talk about genetic engineering and the direwolves, which I did read about, so I want to hear why you picked this. And what's going on.
Juicy.
Oh, sorry. I think I got a little bit off for a minute. Okay, so the bigger question. I'm going to give a little bit of information about the direwolf. It's a wolf that was popularized through the TV show Game of Thrones. It vanished more than 12,000 years ago. And what they did, this company, the organization is called
Colossus Science.
Colossal Science, yes. The company says it did this by tweaking the DNA of a modern-day gray wolf with carefully chosen genes from direwolf fossils and teeth. And they inserted, this modified genetic material was then inserted in a gray wolf egg and implanted in a common dog as a surrogate, and it resulted in the birth of 3 dire wolves.
Wow.
3 wolves. So obviously there's people that are like critics of it within the science community saying that they didn't actually genetically, they didn't create this creature again. They didn't de-extinct this animal. This is an animal that shares like 99.5% of its DNA with the dire wolf, but it is not an actual real dire wolf. So I thought that this was really interesting. I thought this was cool, and I don't. It wasn't so much about like, for me anyway, bringing back extinct animals. It was more so like this idea of people playing God and like doing all.
And you know it's coming.
Well,
Yeah, you know it's Jurassic Park is coming. I bet.
Yeah.
And then one of the things
That's
about
literally
that
what
was,
the comment section
Yeah,
says.
Literally,
that's
it's
what I
coming.
was saying.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming.
And the thing is, with one of the articles I saw, it said China and Russia supposedly are already doing this type of work with humans.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Engineering babies to
100%.
counter resistance to certain things like HIV. Like that would be like, yes, that's wonderful, that's great, but like, when is it too much? When is it getting out of hand? What do you guys think about them actually bringing this dire wolf back from extinction? And what do you think the purpose of this whole thing is?
So when I first saw that, I think this happened. It came out last week, right?
Yes.
When I first saw it, the first thing that popped in my mind was
How can we duplicate Marco?
extinct Marco. Was how can it, like, first of all, what is the point of this? And I mean, the dire wolf, according to your notes, went into extinction over 10,000 years ago. So they didn't, they're not extinct due to human activity. They are extinct due to probably natural selection. So maybe there's a reason why we don't have them anymore. But that's not the first thing that popped in my head. Is the picture I saw was like a caretaker holding 2 direwolves. I didn't know there was 3, but I was like, who's going to take care of these direwolves? And of course, the nerd in me like immediately jumps to ChatGPT, and I'm start looking at information on just like the modern day wolves and like the rearing and how that. Why it's essential to have parents. They, in some depending on the animal species, there's different ways that animals, rear their children, their pups. Wolves, both the mother and the father are included for different reasons. One, they have to train them how to be a wolf and train their instincts, their hunting instincts. But also the father is instrumental in training them in terms of pack mentality, because that's huge for a wolf. So I was wondering, I'm like, why are we bringing back an animal that's not going to have its natural parents there to train it to be its natural self?
I think they did it just to see if they could do it. And you're right. I didn't even think about that. Like these things right now, as it is, it's been I think they said at 3 to 6 months, they were already 80 pounds. Getting as high up as like 100 and over 100 pounds, 120, 140 pounds.
Then if you think about that, in the article that I was reading, when it comes to like wolves that are abandoned by their parents, there's like sanctuaries and like I guess an animal orphanage for lack of a better term. But a lot of those animals end up having like serious behavioral issues. So now we have this fucking mega wolf that's pissed.
What about this? I mean, as I said, in China and Russia, supposedly they're already started doing some of this stuff on humans, and to me, the thing about it is, eventually, if you start to modify something so much, then what are going to be the results of, like, say, for example, if you're modifying, doing something to genetically modify a person, a baby, whatever, that baby grows up, has offspring, is something being passed on and like basically fucking up the system?
Yeah, and
like,
the wolf thing is the smallest.
Evolution.
Yeah, and the wolf thing is
evolved for a reason.
that's probably not even the tip of the iceberg compared to what's been going on in secrecy. And
Yeah.
in the Arctic, you have these neutral bases, right, where every country has a little spot where there's no law, no international law. You can't even fly over it, nothing. Dude, you want to know what's going on, man? It's probably going to make this wolf thing look like
If this is,
like
if they came
Disneyland,
out with this, some real shit is going down.
You ever remember the
That
movie?
show, the Bionic Man, they already have that.
Oh, no, that's long. Yeah, I'm literally. I no, look, we're gonna go to space in no time, and the movie, The Island, with Scarlett Johansson and Ewan McGregor. They're on an island, and they can modify you out of a little thing, and you can dial in how you want to be. And if you're sick, then you can replace yourself in a body. Dude, it's all already in the works. You know what I mean?
I gotta watch that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a really cool movie, and it's like that video game I played, Cyberpunk 2077. Sooner or later, you're gonna have the USB chip here, like no joke, like the Matrix. You just download the language right into your Neuralink.
Oh, really?
It's coming. I'm telling you, in our lifetime, you're gonna go somewhere to Japan and literally on the vending machine, probably hook up your finger and it's gonna download the language into it.
I think the last thing we need is the
It's all coming. I'm telling you, man. It's
Wow.
all coming, man. It's all coming. You'll get your wish to finally be white.
I
And straight.
I don't want to be sure.
Damn it.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people, more so like I guess we'll call them Bible thumpers and those types of people would be, I didn't read a ton of articles about it, but would be a lot more up in arms about this type of situation. And
I hate what
people-
we're doing to
people
animals,
playing
man.
God. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I do understand the argument about playing God and the Bible thumpers getting all in an uproar, but they get in an uproar about playing God when it comes to like abortion. But here's the thing:
Or a
doctors
black
play.
woman playing Jesus Christ.
A black queer woman on top of that.
Man. But here's the thing: like doctors play God and a
Oh,
lot.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot. They decide
100%,
whether someone's going to live or
yeah,
die all
yeah.
the time, and you can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
I do think that maybe there will be a line where I don't know that it's. If you want to argue playing God, if that's going to be your talking point, fine. But I think there's even a scientific argument where it's like there's
And everybody can
There's
justify
genetic
it from each side. Absolutely.
variations for a reason, and all species do, and we pass things on to better the species, and eventually we mutate. We're taller than we used to be in the Middle Ages. We're there or during the time of Jesus, he was apparently like really short. We're going to have to adapt to the climate changes that are happening, and if we're modifying things, maybe we modify it to adapt faster. Okay, fine, but maybe we can naturally do that, and if we modify it, maybe we hamper nature's natural process of allowing us to adapt to our new environments.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right.
All right. Well, genetic engineering. Let us know what you think in the comments. We're excited to know. Marco,
Yes.
tell us about Pam Anderson.
Yes. Pam Anderson is starting this trend, which I don't like, and it needs to stop immediately. And I'm hereby requesting it. Pam, stop that trend. We don't like it. Women don't like it. Men don't like it. Children don't like it. I have no proof of that, but I'm just going to go with that. This no makeup thing. This
Okay.
no makeup thing.
Okay.
Okay. And I actually think it's not really. I think it's DOA already, but I still, of course, have to voice my opinion because everybody cares about how I feel about things. And this whole girlfriend, you gotta stop this no makeup bullshit.
I'm sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so is it like just no makeup every day? Like
You haven't seen it?
No.
No.
I do know that she recently did a film that I actually want to see.
Oh, the last showgirl,
Last
whatever.
Showgirl,
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Yeah.
The only acting
I heard it was really good.
Okay, I want to see it.
No, the only acting I want to see of Pam Anderson is in her sex tape. But the
That's not acting.
yeah.
She might be.
Oh, true.
No,
Actually, I saw Tommy Lee. She wasn't acting.
Oh yeah.
but it's also now that you build your whole career on porn. Now you want to get whatever. That's all other topic.
On
but
porn?
Yeah. Well, come on. Her whole existence was basically
It was not
Sex.
porn.
She was
not
She was a
pornography.
sex symbol.
well, sex symbol. But she did Playboy 100 times and banged every rock star in the world and titties out on every photo. But whatever. It's all good. God bless you. Hey, whatever works. Come from Canada, the American dream. But what I'm saying is, now the thing is, I want to go all organic and not organic, not a problem, but no makeup, and it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You got to put a little makeup on, girls. Like, and then other women started
disagree.
doing it, and they were like, "Oh, we can go all natural." And Sarah Jessica Parker with all exposed gray thing. It's like, and even women, by the way, I think a lot of women feel the way I feel, and I can't wait to hear the opinions. But I think it looks like shit. I think you gotta put a little makeup on. I like the subtle look. I like woman organic with very little, but she's purposely going on the red carpet and all these events with like zero, like
Oh, I haven't
nothing.
seen that.
No, it's zero. Yeah,
No,
no, look
zero.
it
Look it
up.
up.
And by the way, yeah, he'll insert it for you
I
here.
don't mind it. I don't mind it.
It
And
looks
here's
terrible.
Here's why. I think I was talking about this with someone, I think at a get-together that we were recently at. Pam Anderson was the 90s and the sex symbol of the 90s. And I think I don't know that I've noticed a trend of women going, on the red carpet or making public appearances without makeup. I've just sort of noticed her. I know that sometimes you'll see,
You've seen a picture of her doing
Oh,
it.
yeah,
yeah. It's been all over the news. I'm surprised you missed it.
I don't mind her doing it.
Oh, you're looking at it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Okay.
I don't
We need a
mind
break.
her I don't mind her doing it though, because if you're Pam Anderson and you've been known for your physical aesthetic for your entire existence.
That's even worse.
You want to be seen as a three-dimensional person. And now that she's in her 50s, she's not this hot 25-year-old anymore. And the role that she took was an aging like Vegas showgirl. So it worked out for her. I think she just she's gotten to the point where she wants to be seen for more than just that chick, and I think it allows us to see her that way. I like the fact that she strips it down. If she wants to, you can still look at her and tell with a glam squad she can still stun it out.
Yeah.
She can stun it out. She's got it.
See, I struggle with the whole, you want to be Meryl Streep. If it was so important for you to be organic and natural and all of that and be taken seriously.
You don't grow? You don't evolve as a person?
I don't think it's involving. I think it's because she has no choice.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Because
I'm somewhere in the middle of this because I think that, okay, she doesn't want to wear makeup, fine, don't wear makeup. But I think for the longest time, as you said, she was this sex symbol, and she had her looks forever. And once you start getting to a point, maybe she was just kind of like, I don't have that anymore, so now I'm just going to take this.
Or maybe she just didn't give a fuck.
No, God bless her.
She doesn't give a fuck.
By the way, just so we're absolutely clear, God bless her. I hope she makes $1 billion a day. No bigger capitalist than me. Listen, freedom of choice. That's why I love this joint. You do your thing, but again, of course, the freedom goes both ways. I have an opinion about it because she's my childhood. Kind of like you're 12 years old. You have the Pam Anderson poster.
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford. I think. And by the way, don't misunderstand. It's not, hey, I don't think you should be doing that. Who am I to tell an adult what to do or what not? It's more, I guess, for the point not to be missed. I just don't think it. You just saw the picture. You're trying to tell me that looks good? She would look a little bit better with a little bit of just girl put a little bit.
I think she knows that. She knows that she'll look good.
And that's the problem.
Here's the thing. Let's look at it.
I know I'm making sense.
All of us are trained actors, right? So Meryl Streep, you mentioned Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep in the 70s, she was pretty, but she wasn't.
She's still pretty, yeah.
She's still pretty, but she was not a bombshell.
No.
If she was a bombshell, she wouldn't be Meryl Streep. Charlize Theron only got that Oscar. Well, she was amazing in Monster, but they had to strip her down of her beauty because she's one of the most beautiful women, in my opinion, on the face of the earth. Or let's use a male, Matthew McConaughey, not taken seriously until he had that little hiatus, and then we had the McConaissance. He's in Dallas Buyers Club, skinny as fuck. He's not the strong.
Yeah, you always get the Oscar when you do the.
Yeah, but like to be taken seriously, I think sometimes if you're that beauty, or she just oozed sex, you can't do a role like The Last Showgirl because we're just looking at you and how hot you are.
But see, that's the
you're
thing.
Not like Demi Moore.
You're here. It's good because they have to tell you. Dude, Pam Anderson at this age, you ever
Did you see it?
Half of it, yeah. Dude, it's good because it has to be. You don't wake
What
up.
does that mean?
Say that again. What?
It's good because it has to be good. Because God forbid I tell you it sucks. And look who's
Wait, you would say it sucked if it sucked. You wouldn't just say it's.
No, it was.
You hate it.
Dude, if you want to see acting, you don't go see Pam Anderson for acting. I mean, come on. You're trying to tell me that Pam Anderson at age 16 all of a sudden became a good actress?
Yeah, but with age, you have experience that shows on film.
What experience? She never had the acting experience to begin with. The last great thing she did
Life
was barbed
gives you
wire.
experience.
Agreed, but that has nothing to do with transference for acting. It can hold you back.
I think life experience translates very well on film.
Watch the movie, yeah. We'll watch the movie, yeah.
I'm going to watch it. I haven't seen it. I wanted to see it.
The Last Showgirl, Pam Anderson with no makeup, exactly what every man and woman wants to see.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Look, she's however old she is. If she wants to wear makeup, she can wear makeup. She wants to get a BBL, she can get a whatever makes her feel
100%,
better. Whatever
100%.
makes her feel better.
Yeah.
So
She could be a vampire like Demi Moore, who looks amazing right now. She looks amazing.
I think Demi looks stunning, yeah.
Yeah.
She has a little bit, she's on that border where it's like, okay, you're about to do too much, girl.
She had a botched surgery, so what they fixed.
Yeah.
She looks really
Isn't
good.
one side a little
seen her
bit
in
weird?
the-
No, one side looks a little awkward there, and please don't end up like Meg Ryan.
Yeah, that was too much. Or Renee Zellweger.
Oh, Renee, dude, and Melanie Griffin.
Yes.
Oh, dude, all
So
beautiful
basically-
ladies that.
Just be careful.
Oh, and the worst. Priscilla Presley.
Oh.
Oh, that was rough.
Marco just thinks that every woman should wear makeup, so that's the message that he's putting out.
Yes, I agree.
All right, guys, moving on to my topic. So this actually was born out of conversation that we had at a mutual's house, and
Oh.
it's a friend who he had a. This wasn't recent, but he had a friend or he had a grinder date, and the grinder date immediately left and like freaked out and thought that. Left in like this crazy voicemail. He played it and this crazy voicemail because
I'm dying to hear this.
He thought the grinder date thought that our friend, I want to say his name, transmitted HIV to him, which I thought was like I just thought that was absurd, being a gay male in LA because we have PrEP.
Yes.
We have PrEP, and it doesn't matter what socioeconomic background you come from. Los Angeles County considers that to be a public health issue. They will get you PrEP for free.
Right.
And it was a big thing. It like popped out in my head because for me, like PrEP is a huge topic for me because I was in a trial study for what was then, the drug is still called cabotegravir. It's now, the market name is Apretude, and it's an injectable PrEP. And I was in that for like 5 years before it came to market. It was a drug that was used for HIV positive people, but not as standalone. But as a standalone, you can give it to someone that's negative, and it acts as PrEP. And I think it's more effective than oral PrEP.
Really?
I think so. I think the medicine is, or the fact that you don't have to, because remember PrEP, you have to, it's like birth control. You have to take it every day.
But that just protects you from getting HIV.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not from the other STDs.
Not
you
the
can
other
get.
STD, but
So you still get all the other shit. So it's kind of
there's something for that doctor.
wear a fucking condom.
There's
something for
there's-
that, too.
there's
Oh,
something for-
yeah.
But the point, the reason why it was like so jarring to me, I was like, why would you put your sexual health, like take responsibility for your own sexual health? Why are you putting that in the hands of someone else when you could be on PrEP and not even have to worry about that leaving? And so then I thought about it. I was like, so how much of an issue is this really? Because I feel like with gay men, we're typically pretty educated on HIV, on PrEP, on PEP, on DoxyPEP. And just I want to make it clear, anyone that's HIV positive, there's nothing wrong with someone that's HIV positive. They're undetectable. They cannot transmit to you. That would not stop me from sleeping with.
Which is crazy
dating.
because I remember when it was a death sentence.
That's a death sentence.
Yeah, I remember that like yesterday.
If you're HIV positive, that is not going to be what you die from these days.
Right.
It's going to be
Which is
something
crazy
else.
because I remember when literally it was you're done. You're dead.
It's going to
Amazing. Wow.
evolve into AIDS, and that's just like a whole generation of us was wiped up. That's not the case. But then I was thinking, I was like, well, are we really our community? Like, is that something that is a big issue because we have all of these resources, and we've realized. I know that in terms of like transmission rates, it's actually taken a nosedive for the gay LGBTQ, specifically men who have sex with men or gay men, to the point where we can now give blood now if we're negative.
Wow.
And we couldn't do that before. And then upon further research, it's like, who is really being impacted by HIV transmissions? It's still gay men, but the rise is actually women, specifically Black women. And there are factors for that, but like one of the primary factors is the down low syndrome. And due to being a Black gay man, due to the stigma of being gay and the homophobia within that culture, there's a lot of gay men that are down low. There's a lot of down low men in every race. There's a lot of, we've talked about this before, where they play both sides. So women are at risk, leading me to my question. If you are in like a urban area like Los Angeles and you're a sexually active person, and this just came on last night on Hulu, there was an advertisement for Apretude. There's gay men in the Apretude. The narrator or the speaker seemed to be like a transgender woman. There was like a mixed couple, but I couldn't tell like what the pairing was. Mm-hmm. If you are, should this be a drug that now that we're in this era, I think, of more sexual freedom, now that it's
going back.
Huh?
I was thinking of the Summer of Love.
Yes,
Saying how it's going back.
It's going back.
Yeah.
Should this be a drug that's just geared towards gay men, or should women, and specifically black women, because you don't know who you're fucking.
Right.
You really don't know what that person's doing behind your back. Mm-hmm. Even if I was partnered with someone, I know that that's like a milestone for some gay couples is when they become monogamous, they stop taking PrEP. Fuck that. I don't trust you.
I don't know what you're going to do.
I don't know what you're going to do. Should this be something that is geared towards everyone? What do you think?
I feel like 100% it should be geared towards everyone just because, I mean, you're giving the perfect example or the perfect reason why. Mm-hmm. I was the same way as you are when you were saying how like you get to a certain point and you're just like you're with this person. You're like, I'm still going to continue to do this because I don't know what's going on with you. And
people make mistakes.
People
make a mistake with me.
Quick story.
Yeah,
and then I'll go back to this. There was a friend that I had who was friends with this couple that was getting married, and one of the guys that he was getting married had slept with someone outside of his relationship. They weren't open. Caught HIV, ended up not knowing he had it, passed it, transmitted it to the guy that he was marrying. So that's just a quick story about, like you saying, how you don't know, what you're getting. Hopefully you get with somebody that you can trust, and that's not really going to be a concern, but I can understand where that fear could come from. And so, I mean, that's another reason to have that because, let's be honest, men, we talked about this before, men fucking cheat.
Yes.
They will go out there and they will, maybe get a hooker on the street, straight guys or whatever, or gay guys for that matter, get hookers.
Yes,
and, they're not using protection. And I feel like most sex workers are, I want to say, responsible enough that they are taking something.
Usually.
The gay sex workers are taking something. I'm assuming women are not taking things. I don't know. But imagine if we could wipe out HIV completely because everybody had this.
You either you're on a PrEP or you're HIV positive and you're undetectable, and that's not an issue. It's done.
And it's done for. But we know why they market it towards gay men.
Yeah.
I mean, we know why, and
we're still
it should be marketed towards everyone. Everybody should have the ability to say, like, yes, I want to take this to protect myself from potentially getting HIV because I don't know what's going to happen down the road when I'm hooking up with this guy who I think is my straight boyfriend who's going behind me, who's not so straight, and he doesn't know his asshole from whatever, and he ends up catching something because he's not paying attention, and he passes it on to you.
And the thing with Apertude, so the reason how I ended up in the trial study was because PrEP actually upset my stomach. It hurts your stomach for like 2 weeks when you first get on it, but mine was far longer. So I was at the SoCal Men's Health and they directed me to UCLA. The injection does not, one, it doesn't upset my stomach, but two, I think, if you're trying to be discreet about taking PrEP, it's hard to do that if you have to take pills every day and you live with someone. But if you're going to a doctor's office and the nurse is giving you a shot in your ass, no one's going to know that you're on PrEP and you're completely fine. So what do you think? Well, having all this information, what do you think?
I'm glad, of course, you're asking the expert on all things gay.
Yeah, right.
Which I am. But my thing is, but the PrEP protects you from getting HIV, right? And obviously the LGBTQ lifestyle is obviously a lifestyle of partying, sex, and I lived in it, and it's amazing. And if you're a man and you're
so as straight people,
but no,
we take it to another level.
Yeah, no, this is a whole different fucking universe.
That's true. We have our own dictionary.
Yeah, no, you guys. I mean, if I was gay, I'd be probably fucking dead already. Because you just fucking. I mean, I can walk and just fuck 5 minutes later. That don't happen when you're straight, man. Yeah, no, unless you're with a real dumbass bitch. But it protects you from having from getting HIV. But the question is, the thing, when I was single, this is 25 years back in college. I was kind of still fresh, the whole HIV thing and AIDS, and so you always use condoms or try it, man. It wouldn't even occur to me. And not only that, but you don't want to get a girl pregnant, and then, man, forget HIV. But if I was gay or straight and single, whatever, and I'm like out there looking to rebound from a failed relationship, it's not the HIV that's right. It's still, to me, I mean, there's like 100 other fucking things, dude. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, this and that, and rash, and crabs, and like. I still can't see myself hooking up without a condom. Because
Like even today.
especially today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck, dude, today. Dude, let me tell you something, man. Women are just as bad as men.
Judged in our community if you want to use
Women
a condom.
What'd you say?
I think you're almost judged in our community if you want to use a condom.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
that. I believe. Dude,
They're
there's
like-
Yeah.
there's no way on God's green earth. And again, I worked in the scene for 20 years. From bartending to the Abbey, I lived it. I partied. I did it all. And I'm telling you, there's no way on God's green earth you would have me hook up with somebody. Especially, look, if you're willing to hook up with me that spontaneously, what are you telling me, dude? And that's okay.
Well, with us, it's
What, you're telling me you're spontaneous.
Yeah.
That means it happened an hour ago, 10 days ago, 10 hours ago, 24 hours ago. And God bless you. Enjoy the freedoms we have, right? But there's no way on God's green earth I will be doing it without a condom, because the PrEP, that's great. I don't have HIV. Well, guess what? There's 60 other fucking things. I don't even want to mention them. And I forgot them. I never even had them, thank God. But isn't there gonorrhea, chlamydia, chlamydia, rashes, crabs,
we have doxypep
smells,
for that. Like,
doxy-
if you do
Okay.
something risky,
Okay, so
you
now,
have 72 hours to take it.
Yeah.
Take 2 pills, and you won't
and
get it.
luckily, because I'm always
Well, it's like
freaked out.
70%.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
It doesn't have the highest level of efficacy.
Dude, the thing
Yeah.
that saved my life while I'm still around is because I have that fear, right?
Uh-huh.
And so now,
I had that fear.
Guess what?
Yeah.
So you and I would hook up. 5 minutes later, now I'm stressing. I'm fucking stressing because now I can't sleep. I gotta wake up. I gotta fucking go to Cedars, get a test. I need a full fucking blood work now.
Yeah.
I need the whole sex thing, right? I need everything now, and now I can't sleep for 3 days till I get it, right? And forget the HIV. For me, it's what about the other 60 things that now you don't know if you have them, and now you don't know if you have them, giving it to the next person.
Well, that's
So,
also why.
that's my question. How do you keep tab
Well,
of
that's
all of
also
that?
why it's in the gay community that you're at least getting tested every 3 months.
Because if you're on PrEP,
Yeah, they need to test for your liver, make sure everything's working properly. So you're
Every
getting
3 months, Jesus, the shit I will pick
That's
up in 3 months.
That's four
Fuck.
times a year. Like you're going every 3 months just
Aperture
for
is
your
every
sexual.
time you do it.
Yeah. Oh, is they doing it every time?
Because you have to remember with PrEP, with PrEP or Aperture or whatever. What's the other one?
Descovy?
Descovy. They need to make sure that you don't have HIV and still taking those drugs because they don't want them to become resistant.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would advise always use a condom, but just because I would not be able now to go to bed for that 3 minutes of fun.
I want to say something.
You see what I'm saying? Just
Okay.
out of my own fear.
And then I'll
I mean?
shut up. But so when Peyton and I got together, we used condoms all the time. And the one time that we did use a condom was we were in Vegas for like from some New Year's Eve party, and we were fucked up, ended up having sex. And the next day, freaking out like crazy. Everything came back fine. Yes, but further down the line, when you start, if you have like someone coming to you into your relationship and things like that. You want to make sure that I just lost my train of thought. Damn it.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week.
I had a really
What's in
good
that
point,
pen?
though. I had a really
No,
good point.
but listen,
though.
you brought up a good point.
No, this
You were
is what it was.
panicking.
I was panicking.
You were
And so,
panicking.
like, you fast forward to several years later, and it's like you said, it's if you in our community, sometimes people are like, "Oh, if you wear a condom, it's almost like they don't want anything to do with you."
Yeah,
you wanna
like
wear a
there's
condom,
something
like,
wrong with you
why
for
do
wanting to
wanna wear a
protect
condom?
yourself.
Yeah. See,
So
but
that was-
that's a problem.
So that was always something we continued to do.
Or what are you hiding? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
But that was something we always continued to do. And then I was having more and more conversations with my friend. And at this point, we'd been on like PrEP for several years. And
Yeah.
I'm finding out all of my friends, people who I think are like super smart, intelligent people, are not using protection. And for me, it was like, this is like a double safety.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on PrEP, or
They are.
Oh,
They were because I was on it too, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on it, but yeah, I'm still wearing condoms. I'm not gonna. That's
Yeah.
just double protection,
But not
double,
only that, but,
Yeah.
but like,
now you're trusting that person that they really are taking it, that they're nothing else. Listen,
well,
man.
no.
No,
It doesn't matter if
It doesn't matter. You're
protected.
protected.
Okay, just from
So
just from the HIV. Okay,
they
yeah,
can have,
yeah,
so they can
yeah,
have it, but
yeah,
but
yeah.
the whole point was eventually it got to the point was I was asking all my friends, and all my friends were being like, "Oh, I'm on PrEP. I don't wear condoms anymore," and I was just like, "This is so crazy." But then there's the other side of me that's like,
Yeah,
well,
what about
I
the other
kinda wanna
stuff?
wear
The other
condoms
65
too.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're not going to kill you.
Okay,
And
fair
most
enough.
of them
yeah,
can
but,
be.
yeah.
Most of them are not.
They're treatable.
They're treatable, but again, if you
Syphilis is a tough one, I hear.
If you
It's treated.
if you
It is?
feel
Okay, good.
yes, if you feel that you've like had a wild night or engaged in riskier sex than normal, you can take doxypep. I also feel like, again, to your point, because most of us are on PrEP, we have to go to the doctor. We have to get an HIV test. I know it's so like
Full
SoCal
panel.
Men's Health because you want your slut test and they'll they'll do the whole panel. And I think a lot of us are regularly tested, so we're a little bit more sexually responsible. But the thing I think with like the down low men, they're not as aware, they're not as educated, they're probably not getting tested, and so forth. So.
And remember when
I
you're
just
young,
wanted to know if you guys felt that maybe this should be open to wrap this up. Should this be open? It does need to be geared towards gay men because we are a finite community, and that's really it wasn't God's wrath that took us out. It was biology. We're a finite community, so it spread quickly. So we do need it. But now that I think we're in that age of free love, and there's a lot more crossover than there used to be, and some that are just not even necessarily down low. Like they're allowed to cross over.
Yeah.
Like should that be open more? Open?
well, you know what, you bring up a much bigger issue. We're not going to get into that this episode, but the sad thing is it's getting more over here, but in other places on the world, actually the opposite.
What do you mean?
Opposite for what?
Yeah, you're saying you have more freedoms here more than ever.
Oh yeah.
And that's a whole different topic. But sadly, the opposite is true in other parts of the world.
What do you
Yes.
mean but you're talking about sexual. You're talking about sexual
freedom.
not
Sexual freedom, correct.
Sexual liberation.
That freedom to go out and, like you said, the reason why you have things prep like that is because of we're super lucky that we're in an environment or a country or state, however you want to look at it, where you are allowed to be who you are and you can make advances in that.
Right.
That ain't fucking happening in China, Russia, Belarus, Brunei.
Definitely not
you know what I'm saying?
Brunei, yeah.
Well, it definitely
So when you said that, it triggered to me as like, well, it sucks that actually that the opposite is true outside of these walls. You know what I mean? But that's a whole different thing.
You say that, and it makes me think about the whole U.S. aid thing and how funding was taken from them. If they're if they're taking medications like this and sending them to countries where they actually need it, where HIV infection rates are still, holding steady or rising or whatever it is, and something like that gets cut out of the budget, that's how important things like that.
I 100% agree. If it's truly related to AIDS and stuff like that and not some scam bullshit, then 100%, no question about it. You know what I mean? And not only that, but forget the USAID, man. The fact that, you guys would be fucking killed in other places. You wouldn't be allowed to fucking me out. Forget the fucking dude.
You're about to get your head chopped off.
No, dude, no. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But yes, in answer to your question, yes, target gay men, but target as many people as you can.
Especially and women, those women that are
So condom isn't even an option anymore for
and it's definitely an option, and I think it's definitely more so in the straight community because, as you mentioned, there's a biological.
Oh no, and straight, it's
you can get somebody pregnant. Now you're stuck for 18 years.
You're stuck for life.
She's not on the pill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not taking the chance that she's not on the pill.
No. Thank God, I tell you, I'm more than ever happy. I'm not single anymore. Today be rough, man.
So just in short, I think, regardless of your orientation or your gender identity, I think that you should take your sexual health into your own responsibility, and because it's within your control. We have apps on our phones for our doctors. You can show people I can show people my latest report. You can show yours on yours. Like, just don't let those commercials fool you into thinking that it's just for gay men or for transgender people or for sex workers. If you're out there in these streets and there's nothing wrong, I'm a sex positive person. If you're out in these streets and you're active, just take control of your own health.
I don't want to get back into the topic again, but I did want to ask this quick question because I know that for the studies for PrEP that it was only men, right?
I don't know that. If because I didn't see when I would go to, because it was on the annex station on Vine Street. I don't know that there's other people there for different reasons, so I don't know that it was just men. I don't think I ever asked that.
I'm just wondering if it was tested on women too.
I don't know
that PrEP was not tested. I believe PrEP. If I'm wrong,
I think it was. I think it was men. I think I have
just men.
I think I have the paperwork. Like you have to sign out. Like,
so it just makes me wonder. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like there should be any reason why it shouldn't work for a woman.
I don't think.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be biologically, maybe that.
No, because they did go through. So
I've never seen a commercial where a woman is in any PrEP commercial.
I've seen
trans, but not by lot. Yeah, or maybe I'm wrong, but I've never seen a PrEP commercial with a woman in it.
Maybe that's a question to ask someone. But what I would say is that because they give you, like, when you're going through like the intake, they explain like the incubation process for HIV and how like Truvada works versus cabotegravir, which are they stop the transmission in two different phases.
Okay.
So they're not the same drug. But I don't think that it's specific to gender. It seemed like it was just like the transmission of a virus.
Well, yeah, that's why because we're telling people about this, but I just want to make sure that it's okay for women to like take this because these are the people that are the second ones that are being affected.
The article that I read that didn't say anything. They spoke to the lack of healthcare. The healthcare disparity for Black women.
Okay.
So it alluded to maybe this was not a resource available to them, but we should.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm interested.
Let's follow up.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, guys. Well, that was a very interesting
I learned a lot.
conversation.
I come here for the learning.
We do have a little bit more time left for once. So I do have I want to go back to a game or a segment that we used in a show episode that I moderated before. What, in modern times, would be one of your favorite shows? Because I know that I've asked this before, but there's so many. I want to see what pops in your head today.
One of my favorite shows. I went first last time.
Fuck, there's so many.
Modern times.
I'll go first if you guys want to.
All right,
think.
let's hear it.
One of my favorite shows that I just watched it again. I was actually deciding whether it was going to be Game of Thrones or Dune, or not Dune, but.
No, you can't say Game of Thrones. The way that ended is a disgrace.
I don't care. I actually didn't.
Really?
I didn't mind it.
That last season didn't ruin it for you.
I didn't mind it. I thought it could have been a lot better, but I didn't think it was as horrible as everyone made it.
I have not seen Game of Thrones.
That's a tragedy.
I've not seen it.
Anyways, the show that I will pick is The Crown. I love The Crown because it's a historical drama. Mm-hmm. I didn't know much about Queen Elizabeth before watching that and how like extraordinary her life is, but I love the fact that how like some like crazy. Could you imagine being 25 years old and being thrust in a position like that?
Yes, absolutely. I could. Yeah.
Where you can't.
100%. I can.
You can't really talk. You can't. You
I
can't
don't
have
care.
an opinion.
I don't care.
But also be able to have to navigate it and be able to influence.
She had lots of opinions later and a lot of freedoms and a lot of money and was a queen. So
She didn't have a lot of. You didn't hear anything about it. She couldn't. It's a constitutional monarchy. She can't have an opinion.
But no, but still, she's a queen. I mean, come on, she can do as she pleases. Yeah. From age 46 on, she was living the dream, dude. I don't think anybody here would turn down her life. You don't think so?
Remember I asked
19 servants, a castle.
Yeah, but I mean, those are luxuries. But
I'll take it.
We talked about Meghan Markle, and you're like, I would like her life.
Not me.
I don't know.
No.
But like,
I would never want to be Meghan Markle.
No, just the royal life, not being her, like the royal life, like her position.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would want to be royal, like a celebrity. Yes, but that is like a next level.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean,
prison. It seems like a prison to me.
It depends on how much you adhere. You're going to follow those rules.
You have to.
Some of them don't. Some of them have.
Yeah, some of them left. You're right. Yeah, some of them left.
So I mean, it's a decision you make.
Look at Prince Andrew now. He don't have shit. What's your show?
So you're going with The Crown?
I'm going with The Crown.
Okay. Damn. I'm gonna go with the best show of all times, and that actually ended in I don't know a show that ended better than this show. 6 Feet Under.
Oh, I did like that show.
I liked it, but I didn't follow it to the end.
No, the way that ended was truly, I was bawling and crying like a little bitch. And I tell you, man, the acting, the writing, the acting, the writing, the acting, the writing, the directing, the colors, the editing, the sound, the Foley, and the finale, it is a masterpiece, man. Masterpiece, yeah. But there's many shows. That just comes to mind because Samantha and I were talking about it the other day because we're watching the new Dexter stuff. And obviously Michael C. Hall is the all-time.
He's amazing.
He's yeah. No, this is a guy who does it for the love of it.
He's on both of those. Yeah.
Yep. And 6 Feet Under to me was, I mean.
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember that show. This one's tough, so I'm just gonna go ahead.
Love Boat?
You know,
it was good. Love Boat was the shit, dude.
I was gonna go one of two ways. And now you just made me change my mind.
Oh,
So I'm gonna go in the opposite direction
gotta be
of what I was
straight.
gonna go in before. I was gonna try to choose like something that people would know, but now I'm gonna choose something that nobody's gonna know if you live over here in this.
I watched
country.
Sex in the City and I
No,
thought
no,
it was
no,
good.
no.
Except for the new season.
I've
garbage.
never watched Sex in the City.
Whoa.
What is wrong with
What
you?
is
You've
wrong
never
with you?
watched
I'm
You
straight
haven't
up.
watched the biggest shows that ever like
Haven't seen Orange is the New Black. Haven't seen
the
Jurassic Park.
biggest
the
shows on
movie.
HBO you haven't
I
watched.
haven't seen them.
Wow.
Haven't seen them.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I am going to pick Footballers' Wives.
Oh, that was great. That was
And
great.
this is like
I love Footballers'
a
Wives.
serial show,
loved
a
it.
British television show about
Yeah.
these teams of footballers, soccer players over in the UK.
It got ridiculous at
And
the
the
end.
drama that happens.
But,
Tanya,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, Tanya.
Chardonnay,
Oh, Tanya.
yeah.
Chardonnay.
Yes, Chardonnay.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
Because it was
Oh.
just, I'm one of those people that likes.
Oh,
like,
love it.
Soapy, like dramatic type stuff.
It
But I
was
also like
great.
serious, like dramatic stuff.
Tanya
too.
was the best.
But it's a fucking funny show.
Yeah.
Footballers' Wives. There's like 6
Yeah.
or 7 seasons or something like that. You should check it out. It's really good.
Yeah. No, they had a great run. There was in the middle. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was
90s. That's that 90s
yeah.
British stuff. Yeah.
Which, speaking of England, I got to put it up there too. Coupling.
I actually thought
that
that
was
one too.
good.
Coupling was basically
Jeff was the greatest character ever, man.
Jeff was good.
He was the funniest.
Coupling is like the British version of Friends, but better. The
Way
the
better.
The comedy is better.
Way
It's
better.
like 3 guys, 3
Yeah.
girls are friends.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Coupling. BBC.
Yeah.
Check it out.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes our show. Again, we are so happy that you guys were able to join us.
Speak for yourself.
You're pissed off that the viewers were able to join us? You're an asshole.
Wow.
Guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment in the comment section, especially if
Comment
you
about him.
Yeah, do. Please do.
Any of the topics that we talked about, we'll follow up about women and their ability to take PrEP. I think that's a good thing to talk about in the comment section. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
See you later.
Cheers.